Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So it's the end of October. I can't believe it, but it's the end of the month. And so it's time for me to share with you fragrances that I've worn the most through this month. The first one is not going to come as a surprise, or shouldn't come as a surprise. It's a fragrance that I did a dedicated video to, and ever since it arrived, I have been completely obsessed with. It is Angel Share from Kellyanne. This was a blind buy, but I am absolutely thrilled with it. This, I think, is a perfect scent for this time of year. It is kind of a sweet, boozy scent. It has cognac, it has cinnamon, vanilla, it has praline, tonka, oak. I don't really get all that much praline and not really tonka either. When I initially spray this fragrance, it's the notes that are coming through the most are vanilla and cognac and cinnamon. And then as it starts drying down, the vanilla, it kind of goes on the background a little bit. It actually becomes less sweet as it dries down. Cinnamon comes out stronger. Cognac is still there throughout the whole longevity of this fragrance. And definitely oak is starting to come out more. So it definitely feels like I am drinking a glass of cognac and maybe I'm eating a cinnamon bun. That's sort of what it feels like. It's a beautiful fragrance. The interesting thing is that I've never been much into boozy types of fragrances until this fall, I would say. For some reason, as soon as it started getting cooler, I really became drawn to boozy types of scents, and this is definitely a great one. The only small downside of this one, I would say, is I've now had a chance to wear it quite a few times, and I wish that performance was a little bit better, because I don't know if that's the case with everyone. As I've mentioned many times before, my skin eats up fragrance. So not many fragrances last well on me. I'm well aware of that. And so this one, I wish had a better performance. On me, it probably lasts between 4 and 5 hours, and then it really disappears. So if this had better longevity, this would be absolutely out of this world, but it is still really great. I'm really enjoying this fragrance. It's just that, it doesn't last as long as I would like it to, but I don't mind it all that much with this one because I'm enjoying the scent so much. Next two are a bit surprising for this time of year because although you know that I love rose in a fragrance, but typically I am drawn to roses during spring and summer and not so much during fall and winter. However, I have been enjoying wearing sort of a deeper, let's say slightly deeper rosy scents during the month of October. And one of the rose fragrances that I have been wearing a lot and really enjoying a lot is Dancing Roses from Viktor and Rolf. This is a very interesting rose because I would not call it a purely rose scent. This is very much a combination of rose and cherry for me. Both notes are very present and equally as strong. So there is also, in addition, there's also lychee, there is pink pepper, there's brandy, and so it's not just cherry, it's sour cherry. And I definitely get sour cherry with rose. There's a little bit of booziness, but to me, it's very, very light. I would not really call this a boozy. And I think it's the addition of lychee that also brings a really fun element to this fragrance. And surprisingly, this has really, really good performance, and I've really been enjoying it. So when I purchased this one, I wasn't sure how I was going to get along with this fragrance because I'm not a fan of anything really from Viktor and Rolf's regular line. And this was my first purchase from the Magic line, but this is really, really beautiful. I highly recommend this one. And the second rose fragrance that I have been enjoying this month is from Alexander J. This is Rose Alba. This is again kind of a slightly deeper, spicier type of rose. So we have, in addition to rose, we have peach, plum, sandalwood. There is black pepper, which I think is what brings sort of a really definite peppery or spicy element to it. There is musk, there is woody notes. So it's kind of a deeper, woodier type of rose. You definitely get some musk in there, and I definitely get pepper note. It is a spicy rose, and I think that's why it works for me for this sort of a colder weather. So I have been really, really loving wearing both of these rose scents, which is again kind of unusual for me to enjoy in the fall, and yet that's what I've been gravitating towards. In addition to rose, looking at my selection, it looks like I've also been drawn to patchouli, and this is not unusual. I love patchouli in a fragrance, all kinds of patchouli, and I definitely enjoy it more in a colder weather. And so there are a couple of patchouli scents that I have been wearing. The first one is Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo. I love this scent. It is sort of simple, but it just does something to me. There is toffee, patchouli, pear. These are kind of the main notes. So you get that really sweet type of patchouli. Patchouli is very strong in here. Again, it's for those that enjoy this note. For those that don't, I don't think you're going to like it. But it's just a really comforting, sweet type of scent that I've been enjoying so much. And the second patchouli scent, did you guess? Of course, it had to be something from the Angel line, and the Angel that I have been enjoying is Angel au Sucre. This is probably my favorite Angel, I would say. I think it's my favorite. It's because it's a very sweet type of Angel, in addition to all the typical, you know, patchouli and all the other Angel notes. Of course, we have meringue, we have sorbet, and red berries, and so it just smells like a dessert. Really, meringue is coming through very strongly. It's sweet, it's delicious, but again, you still have that blast of Angel patchouli. It's still here. So again, you have to enjoy patchouli, I think, to enjoy this scent. But for me, because patchouli is one of my favorite notes, I really love this one. And again, of course, I haven't used it in the summer. To me, this is a scent that I love wearing when the weather cools down, and that's probably why it's been a favorite of mine through the month of October. And the last full bottle that I'm going to share with you is a newer addition to my collection. This is from Maison Lancôme line. This is Fève Délicieuse. I'm so happy that I finally have this in my collection because it's a beautiful, beautiful tonka scent. And my collection was kind of lacking, I think, in tonka types of scents where tonka is a really prominent note. And so again, I'm thrilled to have this one. There are a lot of notes in it, but sort of the main ones, of course, you have tonka, you have vanilla, cacao, there is milk, benzoin, there is an interesting addition of mint in here, which again, when you look on Fragrantica, it's kind of listed down below, like people don't really smell it all that much. But for me, it's quite a big note in this fragrance because on the initial spray, I definitely get mint, but it's a really pleasant kind of mint because I typically am not a huge fan of that note, but I get it, I don't mind it, and it disappears quite quickly. And then I'm left with this sweet, nutty tonka. I don't know if I can say it's delicious because although it is sweet, it's not really gourmand in my opinion. It is just, again, very comforting, very enveloping, in a way, I think even seductive type of scent. it's just beautiful. And again, I think perfect for this time of the year. And so I have been enjoying this one so much. And now I'm going to share with you a sample. There's only one this month that I have been testing a lot, and I kind of can't decide if I need or want a full bottle of this. So if any of you have experience with this fragrance, definitely share with me your thoughts and opinions about it. Now, the fragrance is, or the sample that I have is from BDK Parfums, and you will know that I already have Rouge Smoking, which I absolutely love. And so I ordered a few more samples from this house that I wanted to try. You know, some I liked, some I didn't like. This was the one that really stood out to me the most, and I think the one that I liked the most and I found the most interesting. The one I'm talking about is Gris Charnel. I mean, I have this little tiny sample. I'm going to put up a picture of the full bottle. Now, the main notes in here are sandalwood, cardamom, fig, iris, tea, tonka, and vetiver. And so I definitely get the tea note in here, and I also get fig, but it's not very green fig. So definitely sandalwood is coming through, and there's definitely some spiciness. So I think cardamom is in here, and maybe some is coming from tonka. So it really feels like a strong, spicy black tea. That's sort of what I'm getting out of it. And as you know, I love tea scents, so I'm really enjoying this one. Sandalwood is very strong in here, or maybe it's the combination of sandalwood and fig that sort of create that kind of vibe for me. I think that's what it is. And I can't decide if I love it or if this is going to be something that's sort of going to bother me after some time. I just keep going back and forth on this one. So the tea element I'm really loving in this fragrance, but I think it's the combination of sandalwood and fig that I'm kind of unsure about. And so I cannot decide if this one is bottle worthy. Again, if any of you have any opinions on this fragrance, definitely let me know. The other thing that I'm wondering about is longevity of this fragrance. Because on me, Rouge Smoking is a beast, absolute beast. It's one of the longest lasting fragrances on me. But I've heard from a number of people where Rouge Smoking really doesn't last on them. Also, when I did my wish list video, I mentioned another fragrance from this house, Passoir, and many people commented that it really has bad longevity. So I have a little dabber sample of this fragrance, so it's really difficult to properly test on my skin. So that's why I'm wondering how the longevity is with this fragrance, because BDK is a very expensive house, and if I'm spending so much money on this, I need a fragrance that's going to last. So again, I have questions about that as well. So I kind of keep going back and forth on this one. I haven't made a decision yet. I still have a tiny little bit of juice left in this sample, so I'm going to continue testing it, and we will see if I'm going to end up with a full bottle or not. So there you go. These are my favorites for the month of October, and a sample that I have been testing a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and definitely let me know what were your most worn fragrances during this month. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.